Doctors, they are the lifelines of a nation, the ones who put us back from the brink when life hangs by a thread. Becoming a doctor in India has always been a Herculean challenge as well. Years of grueling study, relentless exams, and long, exhausting internships, training programs, all before even getting a shot at specialization. To become a specialist, the stakes are even higher, as they should be, right? You literally decide if someone can manage your life or not, handle you in that delicate situation in those minutes and seconds that can make a difference. Hence, every mark, every percentile counts, every key information matters. But is that about to change? For NEET PG 2025, the Health Ministry has now slashed the qualifying percentile to record lows. General category candidates who once had to clear the 50th percentile can now qualify at just 7th. 50th, 7th. SC, ST, OBC candidates, including PWBD, can now enter counselling at 0 percentile effectively, no cutoff at all. In fact, if you score minus 40 and are from a backward category, you are still eligible for round 3 counselling of PG. That's your postgrad medical seats. Now just imagine that for a minute. You sit through an exam for 3 hours and still qualify for, you don't even have to actually sit through an examination and still qualify for a shot at specialization. It's hard to know what to call it really. So what's the justification? The government says over 18,000 PG medical seats are lying vacant across India, even as thousands of MBBS graduates wait for a chance. With so many seats empty, lowering the cutoff will expand the eligibility, fill these seats and give already qualified doctors a shot at specialization. The ministry stresses that merit is not being compromised. Admission will still be strictly counselling based. Now, according to NEET PG rank and candidate preference, of course. Now, I don't know how many of us are really convinced by that rationale. A huge number of doctors clearly aren't. They say, is this not promoting mediocrity? Are we not prioritizing seat filling over academic standards? And can we trust the doctors next time we visit them? So, some are even going ahead to say that the quality of future specialists could be impacted if candidates who previously didn't meet the cutoff are allowed to go in. However, it is important to note at this point that revision in cutoffs have happened before as well. In 2023, for example, the qualifying percentile was dropped to 0. In 2024, it was lowered to 5, from 5 to 15 percentile to address similar vacancies. Right? And now we understand that India needs more specialist doctors, so why not? Those are both sides of that story, but the big question is whether lowering the cutoffs is the right way to get there. Is quantity now going to be more important than the quality of doctors that this country produces? That's the big question before us today. All right, to discuss that, let me bring on our guest. Joining me is Dr. Dilip Bhanushali. He's IMM past National President of the Indian Medical Association, IMA as well. Thank you so much for your time. Also with me is Professor Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Senior Consultant Pediatrician Chairman of the Nephron Clinic as well. Dr. Bagai, let me give you the first word to understand which side of the debate are you on. Do you think that to fill up that lack of doctors and specialized doctors that India needs at the moment, this lowering of percentile is justified?
Good evening. I think this is a complete Mickey Mouse game happening, and it's a bizarre circus of total absurdity. It's time that we relook, reform, reset, and have a complete reevaluation of the way the syllabus has been guided and the exams are being conducted, if at all they need to be conducted. So let me give you an overall preview. We have in India in 2026 going forward, 1.2 lakh MBBS seats and 80,000 MD/MS seats. NEET gives us no conceptualization of neither the aptitude or the intelligence of any student. Overall, if you look at it, any seat which is given as a reservation seat for any criteria, be it financial or socio-economic background or coming from the lower strata of society, especially in a field like medicine, is complete no-no. Look at what the non-merit students are doing. We have one of the highest rates of MBBS dropouts in Indian data. 2018 to 2022, we've had 122 episodes of suicides in undergraduate and postgraduate MBBS and MD seats. We have 1,270 dropouts in 5 years. The dropout rate in certain regions is reaching up to 40%, well above the international norms. There is no science, there is no field of any profession which can be more mentally, psychologically, physically, and emotionally challenging. 36-hour non-stop shifts on alternate days, practically no break. The amount of pressure, fear, anxiety, the amount
So
of
if I'm
academic
understanding
load
you
is
correctly,
immense.
you are
Now
saying,
you bring a substandard
let me phrase,
student.
yeah, let me
That's a
rephrase
huge
that.
issue.
From what I'm understanding from you, you're saying the criteria is tough. It's leading to mental breakdown. It's leading to suicides, as we've been reporting constantly as well. But that should not become the reason to just allow anyone. Am I understanding you correctly?
Absolutely, only
Okay.
merit-based.
Okay, only merit-based. You're basically saying no reservation either. Let me bring in Dr. Dilip Bhanushali on that one. Sir, your thoughts?
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, IMA stand was that IMA had requested the government in 2024 to reasonably reduce the percentile for the admission of postgraduates. But this type of reduction we had never asked for, 0 percentile. You know, with 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh doctors coming out through almost 7 to 750 medical colleges throughout the country, there was a very need for specialized people in the healthcare system of India. 18,000 seats were not getting filled up. So that's why the IMA had requested that it should be some reasonable amount of reduction in the percentile.
But you are also
And
not
now this
happy with
issue
what's
is
being done.
debatable. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Can I ask you, sir, what would you rather have the government do then? Because I see their rationale. We need more doctors. And at the same time, we see how hard the process really is. What would you have rather have the government do here?
So there are 2-3 things mixed up in this. One is about the percentile reduction of percentile, and how many of the doctors can afford the fees what we have in the private medical colleges. To get a PG seat, the amount of money required is horrendous. So how many of them are able to pay this capitation fee for getting into post-graduation?
How
That's
much is
number
it,
one.
sir? Give me a ballpark.
Hello?
Yes, sir. For our audience,
So,
sir, if you could tell us how much is it, the PG fee?
it depends upon which specialty you are taking. Some of them are going in crores.
Oh, I see.
In a private medical college, some of the seats are going in crores. So how many can afford that? Now, on one side, we require postgraduates, because my other panelists have definitely said that so much of burden and so much of test stress is there on the residents, because we don't have residents in the medical colleges, in the hospitals. We want to fill it up. We want to fill it up with specialists, and for that we had requested, in fact, that to bring down the percentile. Now, the capping of this capitation fee should also have been thought by the government, which is they haven't mentioned anything on that.
I see. So from what I'm understanding from you, Dr. Dilip, is that we need to get to the root cause of why these 18,000 seats were empty. Percentile might not be the answer for that, might not be the only reason why these seats are empty. That's what you're saying. I take that point. Dr. Bagai, you want to add to it?
You see, the full system is lopsided. The maldistribution of seats in medical colleges all just so overt. More than 70% medical colleges are concentrated on 30% of the population, which is South India, in 4 states. The regional difference, the language barriers when a young student is entering. This is not a corporate job. The basis of medicine is history taking. The art of medicine is understanding the soul of the patient. If there is a language barrier, there is a regional barrier, it's a huge problem. We are not looking at the mental status of children. We are not looking after the mental health of children. Therefore, the suicides. They can't cope with the pressure. There is no line like medicine. It's tough, it's enduring, it's challenging, it is extremely stressful. Would you rather have the best fighter pilot flying your Rafales in a moment of crisis, or someone who can't fly it that well? Would you rather have your open heart surgery done by the best surgeon, or someone who's going to open the heart and say, now I don't know what to do? We need the best. There cannot be reservations, and NEET is not a good criteria for selecting the best.
Not a good criteria at all. But, you know, Dr. Bagai, I've often sort of riddled with this question myself. You know, when I grew up, millennials like me, when we grew up, becoming a doctor, becoming an engineer was said to be like the highest standard. When I talk to kids today, I'm not seeing a lot of people excited to be doctors anymore. I'm not seeing a lot of kids saying that this is what I want to do. So, systemically, something has gone wrong that has deterred this current generation from this noble profession of medicine. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You know, I'm 60 years of age now. You know, as a senior citizen, when I joined medicine in 1982, there was a beauty, there was a romance with medicine. There was a love to do medicine. It was a never-ending saga of reading, learning, an unquenchable thirst to learn more. This present set of students, especially from the reserved category, are not meeting the cut. The real issue is capitation has destroyed medicine. Private medical colleges are killing the medicine. There's no question about it. Everyone may nod the head yes or no.
Why do you say that?
That's the reality. The fees for a PG seat goes from 2 to 4 crores. Please explain to me, how does a person from a lower middle class family take loans, sell off their property, mortgage the house, send a child, and then the child drops out or commits suicide or is not able to make a career? It's bizarre. We need to address the core issue. Unless until we don't address the core issue by removing the percentage marks a little bit up and down, your car is not moving, you're trying to push it. That's not the way the vehicle moves.
Yeah, but at the same time, India is also the land for brilliant, some of the best government colleges as well, right? In fact, the world looks at India for doctors. We are not just the pharmacy of the world, we are also the largest talent pool. Indian doctors have made great names for themselves, even abroad. So why is that happening then? And are we looking at India not being a fulfilling enough place for doctors to practice, which is why they move abroad? Dr. Bagai, and I'll come to Dr. Dilip after that.
See, the issue is you spend 6 years in MBBS. That's if you get it in the first try. Very often children take 2 or 3 years trying to give repeat exams of NEET. You take 3 years to do MD or MS. That's if you get it in the first try. Normally children take 2 or 3 years again. Then it takes 3 years of residency and another 1 year or 2 years inclusive of our super specialization. By the time you're a specialist, your goose is cooked. Mine was cooked many years back. That means you are approximately 30, 31 years of age to call yourself a specialist. Your life, your youth has already been sacrificed. That must have value. What I'm trying to say is, when you are doing medicine, you should carry the honor on your sleeve. It's not another profession. This is our life. For me, a patient is a living soul who comes to me because the person is in pain. He's not a disease only. He's not a bed number only. That's why the romance of medicine is important, not multiple choice questions to gauge who's good or not. That's ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.
Yeah, fair point. But Dr. Dilip, I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. We are talking, in fact, having this discussion on a day when Elon Musk has said that the world will not need doctors only. He has said that they will not even need surgeons. Robots will take over. His company, Tesla, is making it. So perhaps, I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate, like I said, maybe the kind of doctors we need for the future will require a different skill set?
So with this, we should not compromise on the quality of the doctors. This definitely on that. We are totally agree on that. The quality of doctors should not be compromised. But my say here is, see, suppose he gets an admission. There is an exam for that before he passes his MD, MS, or whatever super specialization he is doing. Just getting admission with less percentile mark, that doesn't mean he has become a specialist. He has to appear for the exams. That's where if you are not capable of doing it, you will fail, and then you can't practice that.
Got it. Got it. Dr. Bagai, I want to get to the heart of the issue again and help me understand, and even for our viewers who don't understand the process very well, could you explain to me why at the UG level we don't face the problem that we face at the PG level? Why is that happening? Why is there always seats and more people than the seats at the UG level, but 18,000 vacancies at PG level?
So the story goes back many decades back, but to cover a many decades story in couple of lines is to fast forward. We have increased our MBBS seats by more than 110% in the last 10 years. So kudos to the BJP government at par. We have increased our MD-MS seats by almost 90% in the last 10 years. So kudos to the government. But the core issue still remains unanswered. The selection of students needs to be relooked and revised. If you are going to base an entire career of a child on multiple choice questions is wrong. That's not medicine. This is not a finance game. If you're going to gauge an entire career of a child on capitation fees and private medical colleges, wrong. Out of 1.2 lakh MBBS seats, only 50,000 are government seats. Where do the other students go? And what happens to the students who do not do well in that particular day? So my suggestion forward is at least half the MBBS seats must have a criteria of some weightage for your 12 years of school. Here what you've done is you've reduced the school redundant. You're based it on coaching classes like so many, I'm not taking names, which are complete money spinner, mental wreck ships, so to say. They're Titanics waiting to happen and they are happening. And then a child goes into a pressure cooker for 9 years plus 3 years, 12 years. And then you produce a half-baked doctor. No way forward. That's wrong. We need to ask serious questions. The only way to address answers is if you address the core issues. If we hide that and we keep fudging with numbers 0 or 2 or 5% up and down, that's not going to make us go forward. About the AI is going to help us. It will never replace us. Never. It can't happen.
All right, Dr. Bagai and Dr. Darwin as well, thank you so much for joining me. And that was insightful. I've learned quite a bit from what you're saying. And what I'm hearing and gauging from both of you is the fact that, yes, there are problems and yes, there are reasons why so many PG seats are going vacant. But bringing down the percentile doesn't seem to be the solution over here. Cutting across to some breaking news coming in, an audit report has been submitted to the Indore administration suggesting that 15 deaths in the Bhagirathpura may be linked to recent outbreak of vomiting and diarrhea in the area, according to sources. The local administration has so far confirmed the deaths of 6 people due to vomiting and diarrhea caused by drinking contaminated water. However, local residents claim that 23 patients, including a 6-month-old child, has died so far due to that outbreak. Meanwhile, the leader of opposition Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, is to meet the families of the Indore water tragedy victims on the 17th of January. So politics over that is heating up. Joining me now is my colleague Maushami to get us more details in a bit. But at the moment, you can see there is still politics over numbers like we've seen in the past as well, that people did not die of COVID, people did not die of pollution. These are just severe and extreme cases that are mentioned. And similarly, people did not die of the Indore water contamination either. Maushami, my colleague, is with us. Maushami, Rahul Gandhi is waking up to that story now. What's prompting him to act now?
Of course, Rahul Gandhi is the leader of the opposition, and this issue has been raked up by the Congress party. In Madhya Pradesh, they have done several protests, including, the president and several MPs of Madhya Pradesh of the Congress party taking out an entire march. And this time round, Rahul Gandhi would be visiting on the 17th of January, meeting the victim members of family members of the victims who died due to the contaminated water. On the other hand, the Congress has done several press conferences here in Delhi as well. So perhaps it's a part of the entire politicking that we're seeing, that Rahul Gandhi escalating this entire issue to the double engine ki sarkar there, raking up that, this double engine sarkar at the state and the center isn't really working, and thereby, could be a very, very pertinent issue right before the budget session.
All right before the budget session over there. But Maushami, we saw that health seems to be one thing that the government has not been picking up very proactively. It could be air pollution and the health impact there, or water pollution in this case, or the health impact there as well. The opposition could not even push them to have a debate on the issue of pollution. So what, do you think will really come out of this visit that Rahul Gandhi is about to make?
So there, Rahul Gandhi making a political point as well, because this is a city that has seen the Swachh Bharat winning awards as far as the Swachh Bharat is concerned.
Cleanliness, yes, yeah. All right, we seem to be losing that signal with Maushami. We'll try and connect again, but that's the big breaking news at this point. The audit report has been submitted. There is a mismatch in numbers like we reported earlier as well. And now Rahul Gandhi is saying that he will go and meet with the victims. The claimed number is 23. What the government is saying is just about 5. Shreya Chatterjee, my colleague, is joining us as well on the story. Shreya, the playbook here remains the same, that nobody died of air pollution, nobody died of COVID, nobody died of water contamination either. They're all saying it's vomiting and diarrhea. In the case of air pollution, they're saying lungs and pneumonia. In the case of COVID, they said sudden deaths. But none of it is related to the core issue, is it?
Well, absolutely, and these kind of audit reports coming in the public domain somewhere down the line highlights that also the cause of these deaths are often not noticed and taken into account if there is no kind of outrage on the ground. Say the Indore matter, the Bhagirathpur incident that we talk about, just because there were outrage, there's also confirmation about more deaths that at least been done. If not, these deaths would not even have been reported, sidelined, despite the fact that they are directly linked to the contamination of water. So very rightly said, we do see such reactions only when outrage is on the ground. If not, these things are quietly brushed under the carpet.
Right. Shreya, stay on with us, because apart from Indore, we have some good news to share when it comes to Delhi at least. Let's take a look at that. Now, water is a basic necessity, but for many of the national capital, even that had become a daily struggle. One such location is Kunwar Singh Colony in West Delhi. Now, in the aftermath of the Indore tragedy, India Today set out and we tried to check how safe is water here in the national capital. Shreya, my colleague who you just saw, was at the forefront of that investigation as well. We visited 3 locations, travelled extensively on ground and spoke to hundreds of residents, and what emerged was deeply worrying. You see that picture over there? That's what is really been the cause of real struggle. People told us that they had no choice but to consume contaminated water. But after that India Today investigation, we highlighting the issue as well, the administration, we are very happy to report, has finally woken up and they were forced to respond. In Kunwar Singh Colony today, work to replace the old pipelines has now officially begun. And our coverage has brought a smile to the faces of those same residents who were holding the mask on their face and saying it's impossible to even breathe when the tap water is on. Take a look at this report.
बहुत आते हैं, साफ तो आते हैं, बाकी बदबू वाला पानी आते हैं, नाली के पानी के जैसे बदबू आ रहे हैं।
और कंप्लेन कर दी, कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा है, फिर भी गंदा पानी आ रहा है।
आप आए हैं, उसके दूसरे दिन से काम शुरू हो गए, हमारे को ना अच्छे पानी मिले।
हाँ, बहुत खुश है, सभी खुश है, पानी साफ आ गया, नहीं तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी।
This is yet another India Today impact. For days, residents of Kunwar Singh Colony in West Delhi were forced to live with the nightmare. Toxic, contaminated water flowing into their homes. Water they drank, water they cooked with, water their children bathed in. All no different from sewer waste. Residents told us they had complained repeatedly, but no one listened.
ये पानी पीने से इंसान के पेट में दर्द हो रहे हैं, बीमार भी पड़ रहे हैं।
गंदा पानी आ रहा है, 2-3 महीना से सबके पेट में दर्द हो रहा है।
आप लोग मैनेज कैसे कर रहे हो? पानी को तो हर चीज में जरूरत है।
खरीद के पी रहे पानी 2-3 महीने से।
तो हो रहा है, पेट में बहुत ज्यादा दर्द है, तबीयत खराब हो रही है, किसी को उल्टी हो रही है, किसी को लैट्रिन हो रही है, ऐसे ही दर्द है, किसी की गैस बन रही है।
India Today went on the ground, spoke to families, documented the rot, and exposed what Delhi's residents were being forced to endure. And within days of raising the alarm, the administration was forced to act. The Delhi government has now begun removing decades-old pipelines and replacing them with new lines, acknowledging the problem that residents had been flagging for years.
This is the same Kunwar Singh Colony that we visited a week back. The same colony that was reeling under contaminated water issue. After our report, the Delhi Jal Board has worked on the ground. What do you see over here? The work that's been done by the DJB, these are the remains of that. What we are being told that when IGL pipeline work was going on, the water pipeline of the Delhi Jal Board was broken, and that issue has now been fixed by the Delhi Jal Board.
When India Today first met the residents, there was anger and helplessness. Today, there is relief and gratitude. Residents say it is only after India Today's reporting that clean water has finally begun to reach their homes. A smile on their faces because at last they are receiving what was always theirs, a fundamental right.
या आप जो एक हफ्ते पहले आई हो, उस टाइम जब कंप्लेंट हुई है या वीडियो बना है, उसके बाद में काम बहुत अच्छा हुआ है और सारी प्रॉब्लम जो पानी की थी सब सॉल्व हो गई है।
क्रोश यहाँ पे बहुत था कि कुछ नहीं होगा, सॉल्व नहीं होगा।
सॉल्व हुआ, बहुत अच्छे से सॉल्व हुआ, आपके आने के बाद ही सॉल्व हुआ। जब कंप्लेन करी थी तो कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा था।
खुश हो अभी आप?
हाँ, बहुत खुश है, सभी खुश है, पानी साफ आ गया, नहीं तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी।
ये सच है, अभी आप लोगों को अच्छा पानी मिल रहा है?
हाँ जी, आप आए हैं, उसके दूसरे दिन से काम शुरू हो गए, हमारे को ना अच्छे पानी मिले। आप सबके बहुत बहुत मेहरबानी।
खुश हो अभी आप?
हाँ जी, बहुत बहुत ही खुश है, बहुत ज्यादा खुश है।
अब खुश हो?
हाँ, पानी साफ आ गई है। हाँ जी, आपका भी थैंक यू और पानी देने वाले का भी थैंक यू।
For the people of Kunwar Singh Colony, clean water is no longer a demand. It is becoming a reality. A stark reminder that basic rights cannot be ignored and that sustained public pressure brings results. With Shreya Chatterjee, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, finally a story that brings a smile to our faces as well, and Shreya is with us. Shreya, I'm sure you are feeling it. I can see it on your face as well right now. There is no better feeling for a journalist to see real change on ground. So kudos to you. Well done from all of us here in the studio as well for tracking the story, for collecting all those water bottles. But before I come to you and understand what's the next leg, just for our viewers, I really want them to see the before and after reactions one more time. The same people, how good, true journalism can change lives. Take a look.
3-4 महीने हो गए हैं, गंदे पानी बहुत आते हैं, बदबू वाला पानी आते हैं, नाली के पानी के जैसे बदबू आ रहे हैं। ये पानी पीने से इंसान के पेट में दर्द हो रहे हैं, बीमार भी पड़ रहे हैं। 3-4 महीने से बहुत हम परेशान हो रखे थे। खारे पानी पीते थे, ऑनलाइन भी पानी मंगा के हम बच्चे के देते थे या पीते भी थे। अब तो बहुत, सच में बहुत खुश है। अब कम से कम
जो पानी खरीदने की आप लोगों की इतनी समस्या थी।
हाँ जी, बहुत ज्यादा ही। अब बीमार भी होते थे लोग, पानी पीते थे, बीमार भी होते थे। बाकी अब ना, जब आप आए ना, जो दूसरे दिन काम शुरू हो गए।
दिल्ली जल बोर्ड से ही काम करते हैं?
हाँ, दिल्ली जल बोर्ड के पर कंप्लेन कर दी, कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा है, फिर भी गंदा पानी आ रहा है। सॉल्व हुआ, बहुत अच्छे से सॉल्व हुआ। आपके आने के बाद ही सॉल्व हुआ। जब कंप्लेन करी थी तो कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा था।
खुश हो अभी आप?
हाँ, बहुत खुश है, सभी खुश है। पानी साफ आ गया, नहीं तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी।
आप कह रहे हो ये थी कि आपको तबीयत खराब
होती है, पेट में दर्द होता है, बुखार भी आने लग जाता है।
आपकी बच्ची की भी तबीयत खराब
और क्या, सबकी तबीयत खराब हो रही है। पानी पीते थे इसको 2 महीना तो बाई चांस भर भी लेते ना 2 केस तो तबीयत खराब हो जाती। जब आप आए जब से हुआ है, पहले से तो बहुत गंदा पानी आ रहा था। हाँ,
कैसे काम किया इन्होंने?
अच्छा काम किया था, अच्छा किया था काम। तो जल्दी कार्रवाई करी थी, पानी अच्छा आने लग गया।
साफ पानी आ रहा है।
हाँ, साफ आ रहा है,
दिक्कत नहीं।
अब कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
See how life changed, though? One solid piece of reporting, and also kudos to the government for actually responding to that. Shreya is with us. Shreya, this time when you went back, I'm sure the smiles said it all, and I'm sure you're going to have a very good night's sleep today.
Well, absolutely, Sonal. I think as you very rightly pointed it out, this is what a journalist lives for, to see actual action on the ground. And actually, kudos to the Delhi Jal Board and the Delhi government as well for reacting to our report and then fixing it. That also shows that these work can be done at a faster pace. And that is what people need right now. We have one colony where the solution has been offered, countless more in the national capital, still waiting for solution to be given. But we have some figures from the Delhi Jal Board as well, that there were close to 9,000 complaints that they had received till the 31st of December. And they are resolving at it at a very fast pace now. In places where there are bypass lines, there are main feeder line works that's also being done. We have those visuals as well. And at least 98% there's a resolution rate, is what we've been told by the Delhi Jal Board. Some places still reel under these problems, but at least there is hope on the ground. And I think Kunwar Singh Colony has come out as that hope through our report.
Yeah, but we can't stop here, can we, Shreya? Because there are several other colonies which are facing the issue. In Noida, there is a major issue. In Greater Noida, there have been several issues as well. So there is a basic, what is your sense of why, there is a hold-up in resolving these issues on the ground? Is there an issue of people in Jal Board or MLCs, etc., not understanding the issue, not giving it enough importance? Is there a fund issue? What holds them back? Like, why should it take a TV channel to open their eyes and say, just work on basics?
Well, I personally feel that there is also a lack of reactionary measures. I mean, these complaints have been coming in for quite some time. I got all these complaints visibly seen on the Twitter page of Delhi Jal Board. So clearly it's been lying, but people do not react until there's pressure that's mounted. So that's a very sorry picture of how our government still continues to function. But the other thing, Sonal, is that the urban planning situation is not very good when we look at these places. Because what essentially happened is that if there is the digging up work of an IGL line that is going on, or if there is a digging up work that is going on of some other kind of ground level work, so then it is not coordinated with the Delhi Jal Board. During these, there are pipelines which get broken and then contamination happens. What we need is everybody working together so that planning can be really done. If we have such essential policies on the ground, why not work on it? Why just have it only on paper and work only when there is pressure down on the system? So probably that's something that these governments and all these bodies should work together on. Only then we will see some real accountable situation changing drastically on the ground.
All right. Well, we leave it there for the moment. Thank you so much, Shreya. Sleep well tonight. Get back those boots on the ground tomorrow and get us more stories like this so we can highlight that here on 5 Live. Thanks so much for joining us. All right. One word that you have heard ample number of times here on 5 Live: pollution. A word Delhi knows all too well. Every winter, like clockwork, air turns poisonous. Breathing becomes a risk. Stepping outside feels like punishment. Delhiites suffer it daily, and now the embarrassment travels far beyond our borders. Men's badminton world number 2, Anders Antonsen, has delivered now a damning indictment of Delhi's air. The Danish shuttler has pulled out of the Indian Open, not due to injury, not due to scheduling, but because the air in the national capital is simply not safe. Imagine that. A global sporting event in the capital of the world's largest democracy deemed unfit because athletes cannot breathe. Now, Antonsen has bluntly said that Delhi is not the place to host tournaments under such conditions, in a statement that exposes not just pollution, but years of apathy, denial, and inaction. If I dare say, it's a national shame that this is what the country has come down to. All right, some more updates coming in. This is of Trump reiterating claim over Greenland now. Trump has said that need Greenland for purpose of national security. He has also now asked NATO allies to lead the way to get it. Trump also saying if we don't, Russia or China will take it. And that's the language being used by the US President Donald Trump. He's also saying that NATO becomes more formidable with Greenland in US's hands. So Trump there upping his ante again after Venezuela. He thinks it's the turn of Greenland for a takeover by United States. He's now this time urging NATO to have in his corner and asking them to sort of ally with him on the matter. Also saying that if he doesn't, then China or Russia, he says, will be there to do the job. All of this has been contemplated, spoken about for a while, but this very clear statement coming from Trump is yet another one that will shake up news outlets, stock markets world over to understand what exactly is the President of United States up to. He's saying and reiterating his claim that he wants to take over Greenland. How that happens, when it happens, is something that we'll wait and watch for, and we'll keep you up to date as well.